Well, Democratic Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi is a House Minority Leader. She was Speaker of the House when the Affordable Care Act passed back in 2010. Congresswoman, welcome to the table at CBS This Morning.
Morning.
Mick Mulvaney was here earlier. It's no surprise to you that he said this is a better plan than Obamacare. I've heard the Democrats' rallying cry now is make America sick again.
Yes.
So what is your reaction to what you're hearing this morning? What concerns you most?
Just when you think you've seen it all, the Republicans go to a more extreme place. This will make millions of people, it's a question of 10, 15, 20 million people off of having health insurance. It will be the biggest transfer of wealth from low and middle income people to wealthy people in our country. You don't think of it that way. That's why we say to them, show us the numbers. Show us the numbers about what the impact is personally on people. Show us the numbers as to how many people will be thrown off. It is real. It couldn't be worse.
But the plan does keep in place some elements of Obamacare, coverage for pre-existing condition, allowing children to remain on their parents' plan until they're 26 years old, no lifetime caps. So isn't it better than at least just scrapping the whole thing?
No, it isn't, and it isn't for this reason. Because in order to do those things, when we put the Affordable Care Act together, and maybe this gives us a great opportunity to brag about the Affordable Care Act, you have to have a pool of people to be insured. They don't talk about how much it's going to cost. Pre-existing conditions coverage is very, very expensive. You talked about $2,000, $4,000. We're not talking about something that is manageable.
But you don't see the insurance companies lining up against this. Why not?
Well, it just came out a matter of a little while ago. And by the way, they have a big bonus for insurance company CEOs. That's unfortunate because the CEOs have, I think the insurance companies have tried to be responsible.
Congresswoman, premiums for mid-level plans under the Affordable Care Act were estimated to increase an average of 25% this year.
Maybe.
Can you say that Obamacare is working? I mean,
yes. Oh, please. Thank you for the question. Here's the thing. Before, you have to take it back to before we had the Affordable Care Act, which is what I call it, and with all the respect in the world for the president, premiums were soaring if you could even get insurance, and if you had a pre-existing condition, you couldn't. The Affordable Care Act, in some instances, there will be some increases, not across the board, but in some instances there will be increases, but nothing to compare what it would have been without the Affordable Care Act. And the coverage is far superior. All of the benefits. So the goal of the Affordable Care Act was to do three things: to improve benefits, to expand coverage as to who is included, and to lower cost. It has succeeded in every one of those things, and it has contained the increase of cost in a way that in the 50 years that they've measured such things, they haven't seen such containment of cost.
Do you see any way the two sides can work together? Because the Democrats will say this, the Republicans will say this. We could do this for days and days and days. At some point, don't the two sides have to sit down and say, what can we do to figure this out?
Well, the point is that what they're doing is assault on the whole systemic to reach insurance to as many people as possible. If they want to talk about how we could do some things to improve the Affordable Care Act, we certainly can do that. But you don't do it by pulling the plug. You mentioned in your presentation that they're doing what they're doing to Medicaid, very, very destructive, very destructive. So maybe we should have a side-by-side chart as to what this means in a person's life. Because that's really what's important here, not policy, but what it means in a person's life. And this is a very, very bad plan. But when the president says Affordable Care is he doesn't even have the faintest idea of what he's talking about.
Leader Pelosi, let me ask you about, you are the longest serving member of the House Intelligence Committee, right?
Yes.
As you know, the president has alleged that President Obama ordered the wiretapping of Trump Tower. Have you seen evidence of that in your role on the Intelligence Committee?
Well, once again, the president doesn't know what he's talking about because, first of all, a president can't do that. Maybe he's projecting that's something he'd like to do, But that isn't what President Obama did or could do.
Because it has to go through the
There's a
Justice
process.
Department and then, of course, through a FISA court
and the
that is
rest of
appointed
that.
by the Chief Justice of the
So
Supreme
why
Court.
would he do such a thing? He is the deflector in chief. He wants to deflect the fact that there's a Russian connection, personal, political, or financial, to him. He wants to deflect the fact that his ban is unpopular on Muslims coming into the country. He wants to deflect the fact that he has no jobs bill, no infrastructure
Do you think
bill,
he's just making this
nothing.
up? You think he's
Yes,
just
I
making
think
it?
he is.
Do you think FBI Director James Comey should speak out publicly about this?
He did. He has spoken out. He said that they should retract that statement, as I understand what I've seen in the press. He has, but he was very courageously to protect the integrity of the FBI. He has spoken out against it. And I don't know, the Justice Department seems to be missing in action in other aspects of the Justice Department. But this is, again, look, he's been in office 47 days. By the time the President Obama was in office 4 weeks, he had already passed a bill, signed a bill that had produced or saved 4 million jobs. We've seen nothing in terms of any initiative on the part of President Trump. We haven't seen anything in terms of
You think he's been ineffective
infrastructure.
in terms of job
Totally.
creating?
What has he created? He's created nothing except chaos. And I think that he is a deflector, as I say, in chief, changes subject so people are not paying, throws red meat to his base. But you know what? He's in charge. He's responsible. He should be held accountable for what he does and not be passed off as, well, he's a newcomer or something
Okay.
like that.
Congressman Pelosi, good to have you here.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
My pleasure to be here. Give Charlie my love and regards.
Will.
We will.
Will.